And we're live. Welcome to tonight's episode of Dock Tales, a fisherman's story. Welcome, Mr.
Hi,
Art
everybody.
Henderson to the show.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Jody. How are you this week?
I'm great. How are you?
That's great. I'm doing well.
Yeah.
So tonight we have Art from One Ton Fishing Club in the
Hey, Art.
house. Get your questions ready, Chet. So how are you doing, Art?
What time's for life? Wait, did I have some of my tea?
Yeah.
I'm doing pretty good, Tom. How you doing?
Could be Shad. I'm doing good. That could be Shad you got stuck in there.
You never know. It might be the gill plate in there still.
All right. Before we get started, do we want to shout out some chat, Jody?
Yeah, I'll start from up at the top. How about that?
Yeah.
I'm going to go all the way up to the top, and here we go. We got Avid Fisherman, thought he was first. Catfishing with Carl was second. And then we got Chrissy Brown. How are you today? It's all mine, Michelle. Mr. Mike Sampson's in the house. Let's see. Catfish Fever and Outdoors. I think his name's Lynn.
Yeah, I know that guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I heard of him.
Yeah, I think I've heard of him too.
He likes to go live really late, I think.
Yeah, I think so. And then we've got Takedown Catfish and Kitty. Annette Morgan.
Jelly Roll.
Pontoon Jody's in there? Huh.
Oh, she gets around.
Yeah. Rustic Outdoors. And da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Laura the Explorer. Howdy do. Melissa or Melissy. She's my sissy. And I think Catfish Regulators, Mr. Aaron. Howdy.
Aaron.
Got Catfishing with Cause. She's back in here now. David Smith. Hello. Uncle Josh. He's in here. Let's see.
Uncle Care Bear.
Mr. Gadget Fishing? Yep. Chucky Morgan. Uncle Josh has a question already. Will we learn the secrets to Art's farts? Hopefully not tonight.
Never.
Lance McCoo guy. Fishing for Whiskers. Howdy do. Happy Wednesday. Pork chop in the house. Let's see who else we got right here. I think we're winding it down.
Did you get Kevin from Palmetto Cats?
No, I haven't seen his name.
Welcome, Kevin. Also, Down East Tackle. I don't believe you mentioned him.
I ain't got down there. You can go ahead and finish him up.
Okay, Buck Williams, welcome. I think you said pork chop. Mike Sampson. Lynette. Chucky Morgan. I'm not sure if you mentioned him.
Yeah. Here. Puppy's chewing my cable.
Josh says, Art, you wish you could care like me. There's Maurice Kaysen in the house. Welcome, Maurice.
Howdy.
Old Mechanic in the house.
Howdy do, Mechanic.
I think that brings me to the bottom. It's a rare time when I reach it to the bottom of the chat, so that's a good thing.
Bill.
Oh, yeah, I missed that one.
Yeah.
Roger's in here.
Muskrat, Roger, welcome. Okay, we'll try to shout out anybody else. We're going to get moving here with the show. I want to go over just a little bit of stuff here. We have some names in the description, some links, and I believe It's All Mine is putting some of them in the chat already. I've seen them. We have Arts, the One Ton Fishing Club YouTube and Facebook page link there for anybody who, for some strange reason, doesn't know them. We have Jody's YouTube and Facebook page and her Women of Catfishing page as well.
Thank you.
Michelle's YouTube page, It's All Mine, her cooking website. It's got some great stuff on there. Bobcat Outdoors was added to the list. He did a little something. If you didn't see it yet, we're going to show that here in a little bit. We got his webpage, his YouTube and his Horizon Graphics webpage. So check him out. He made something for us, and we're going to show that off here in a bit. And it is wonderful. We got Laura the Explorers up on the page. She did pass 700. She's sitting at 706. Let's see if we can push her a little higher.
Woohoo!
We have Chad and Jeremy Colvin, who are both rebuilding their sites. Let's see if we can help them at all.
Team Bait Shop.
Creole. Team Bait Shop. Creole is in need of watch hours. He's met his 1K, but he needs watch hours. So I consider here putting him on when you're looking for something to watch. He's got some great stuff. We also have Uncle Lou's Facebook page and Brad Cadell's Facebook page and the Anglerholics. They are sitting at 485. So that would be great if we could push them over the top.
Do it.
All right, so that's all the paperwork we have here. Let's try to make sure that I don't miss anything. There's Kevin Baker. Welcome, Kevin.
You got Reef Robber.
Reef Robber. Oh, nice. Okay.
Yep. And Mike's Fishing Home, a CFF.
Oh, Mike, welcome.
Mr.
Okay,
Ford
so
himself.
What's that, Art?
I said Mike's Fishing Home, Mr. Four Loco himself.
All right, so let's get started with the interview a little bit. Art, do you remember who or what it was that attracted you to fishing at an early age?
So you saying who or what?
Either. Was it a person or something you picked up on your own, or?
No, my dad always took us fishing. He always went catfishing, from what I can remember, or fishing for whatever would bite. Typically night crawlers or chicken livers, stuff like that. It was just fun, a way for my dad and my brother and I to spend some time together and do a little bit of bonding and get out the house.
Yeah. Well, you told me a couple of funny stories the other night. Would you like to discuss them with us?
Yeah, it was funny at the expense of my brother. So we were fishing. This was in New Jersey. The lake was called Bud Lake. And the lake, the part where my dad always went fishing, it was like the channel. I'm sure there's a name for it, where any people that had docks with boats, it was like a little channel, and then it went out to the lake.
Mm-hmm.
It was behind a police station, so we were back there fishing one day, and somebody rode by. I don't know if it was a policeman or somebody. Just somebody randomly stopped and asked us how we were doing, and we were catching. I don't know if they were just really small channels or bullheads. I'm pretty sure there was channel cats in that lake, but I'm thinking they were bullheads. But we had a stringer full, and my dad was telling me, "Yeah, we're doing really good." My brother grabs the stringer. Now so just a little reference. So like our age was probably kindergarten. I was probably in kindergarten. He was probably a little younger, around that age. And he grabs the stringer, shows him, and they're like, "Wow!" And he goes to put it back, and he dropped the stringer, and he fell in. So my dad reaches in, grabs him and the stringer. My brother's soaking wet, and I can't really say on the live what my dad said to him, but he definitely got a whooping for it, and I made him sit in the car. Yeah, of course, it scared the crap out of my dad. You know, your little boy falling in the water.
Yeah.
And stringer. So that was one of them. And then another funny story is when we actually lived here in Virginia. Now you got to remember, channel cats up there, they might get big. I don't remember my dad ever catching big channel cats. But I remember him fishing here, and we had no idea, or he didn't know what a blue. If he didn't know, he found out later of us living here. So he caught probably like a 7 or 8 pound blue, and it was a huge fish to him because we used to catch bullheads and channels, and he was so excited about it. And he was. We always kept fish to eat, so he wanted to take this fish home. We didn't have a stringer, so in the back of in the trunk of the car, because he didn't have a truck, we just had a car. I forget what kind of car it was, but it was either a tire iron or like some kind of fork-looking tool for that mechanics use. I forget what it's called, but he had to humanely put the fish out of its misery to throw it in the back of the trunk. And there was a little general store on the way home that a lot of the locals will bring in their catches like that they thought were really good catches and get Polaroids, and they it up. For all the young viewers, Polaroids were pictures that came out as soon as you took it. They might be making a comeback now, but it was the closest thing to getting pictures developed immediately. Now, there's, with the second after you take the picture, but he brings it in there and he's bragging about it, and the guy's like, yeah, you must not be from around here. Because we live in the area where the world record was caught. So no one knew, he thought it was big to him. So he was definitely excited, and we were all afraid of the catfish. Didn't want to, the stingers, and all no different now. But that's probably my two most memorable as a kid stories. Growing up that we had.
Now your dad recently caught a big blue.
Yeah. It was we were fishing and I'd walk down to put another rod like in the shallow area at Rudd's, the place we always see us fishing, and my Mad Cat's white ghost goes down and he's like, Arthur, you got a fish down here. I'm like, well, get it. I'm not gonna run down and get it. And he's reeling it in. I'm like, oh, that's your eater that you wanted, and it ended up being 29 pounds. He was talking about I'm my arm tired. So that was a cool experience.
Cool. Hey, we have a question here from Laurie, but we have that on the list of questions here. Do you want to answer this one now, or?
Sure.
So Art got out on a lot of boat trips this past year. What are the goals for the coming season?
Well, my ultimate goal is I want to get my own boat and do a lot of fishing out of that and learn the lake. I feel like we've got a pretty good grasp on where the fish are at the time of year and what bait they want and all that from the bank. But fishing from a boat's a whole new ball game. Like, you can go out there and skunk just as bad if you don't know where you're going or what you're doing. So, yeah, that's my long-term goal. This year, probably still going to be beating the banks like we always do. If somebody invites me out on a boat or whatever, I'll, if I can make it, I will delightfully accept.
Cool. All right, I got a couple more shout-outs real quick. I saw TX Tiger come in, Camel Muncie, Small Water Charters, the Anglerholics, Tim Donna, and Uncle Lou are in the house.
Howdy.
Jody?
Yep. You ready for a question, Art?
Sure.
Okay. You did not grow up here in Virginia. Can you tell us where you grew up and what brought you here to Virginia?
Yeah. I grew up in New Jersey, so I am a dang Yankee because I came here and stayed. I was born in New Jersey. I grew up there until I was whatever. How old are you when you go into fourth grade?
9, maybe.
9.
So from 1983 to 1991 or 92, we moved down to Virginia. We lived here for 6 years, and then after that, we moved back up north to Pennsylvania. I lived there from '98 all the way till 2010. So you were asking me what brought me back down here?
Yeah.
Uh, love. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's part of it. It's part of it. I met, I reconnected with my now wife, Bridget. We were friends in high school, but it was when we thought about like kind of dating, it was when my family was moving back up north. So we just never really had the chance. And thanks to good old Facebook, we started talking again and did the long distance thing for a year. So, and on top of that, my grandparents were still down here, and I knew they were getting up there in age, and I wanted to be down here closer to them. Plus, I always liked it down here. Like, I loved it down here. So, I never really wanted to go back up north, but
Okay.
Up there, the season is so, like my parents and my sister keep saying, are you going to come back to live here? And I said, you can only fish 6 months out of the year up there. I'm not coming back. And this past storm that they had, was it 2 weekends ago now? My dad and my sister, they live a town apart. They got 30 inches of snow. I said, no, I'm not coming up there.
I do miss my friends from up there. I made a lot of good friends, a lot of good memories. Yeah, I mean, I do miss it up there.
Mhm.
And COVID's really got it screwed up for going up to visit because, like,
Right.
see my friends. Are they like, oh, can't COVID and all that stuff? But that famous C word.
Yeah, my nephew godson is graduating from high school this year, and the graduation's the first weekend in June. And my sister was the one to know if I could make it. I said, we'll just have to play it by ear at this point. I can't determine that this far out with everything that's going on.
Yeah, well, there's a nice thing. A lot of stuff's virtual now.
Yeah, there's that. Josh has another question for you.
Oh no way!
What happened when your dad hooked into that big flathead at Stunt?
Again, there's some choice words that were probably said that I can't say on the line. So I was down. We'd set up. I don't think Tom. I don't think you've been to the state park yet in
No.
Fishwick. So there's a picnic area. Um, Big long stretch of bank. Now people go there all the time. And this was like I don't even know if we were doing YouTube yet, but we're just getting into figuring out catfishing. And of course, I wanted to catch a flathead because, like, when I started catfishing, Josh had already been catfishing. And he was talking about it, and I'm like, oh, I want to catch a flathead then. So we're fishing with our 10-foot, 12-foot rods, throwing out live bluegills, and I knew what a demon dragon was, but I still had some of my bass gear that I took the hooks off of, my
Right.
Zera Spook.
Yep.
Head-on Zera Spook. I forget what color it was. But anyway, I tied that on there, threw out there a live bluegill, and I was way down on the point. There was a couple other guys fishing up from us. The one guy was sitting in his truck, and the other guys were sitting on the bank. I was throwing the cast net, and I just caught a big carp. No idea that carp was a good bait. I'm like, and I was like, man, I don't want to kill this fish. So I just threw it back. I knew what shad were, and I knew they were bait. But I didn't know regulations on, like, can you keep a carp if you catch it in a cast net? Now I know. But anyway, I'm way down there. I hear my dad, the guy blowing the horn in his truck telling us we had a bite. So I was like, Dad, get it. Again, another time away from my rod. My dad's right there. And he's yelling, Arthur, come get this thing. it was pulling him. So there's some current there because that's the river part, before it's right where the two come together at the lake. So there was some current too because, the first year when we started catfishing, we had a lot of rain that winter. And this was fall. So we had a lot of rain. And the water was up and it was moving. And I finished reeling it in. I got pictures and stuff probably on Facebook floating around of it. But it was a 26-pound flathead. And it was I'm pretty sure it was the first flathead I ever caught. And that's what gave me the itch for catfishing in general, but flatheads mainly. But yeah, that's the story of my dad. He
That's a
really
great fish.
he hung him, the fish hung himself because we had circle hooks. I'm pretty sure it was a circle hook.
Mhm. Well, that's
So
cool.
that was the story. He was afraid of losing the fish, and he thought I'd be mad if I lost a fish. So
We have another question here from It's All Mine. What was your best memory of your first visit to the dock?
the first visit. Well, before I got to the dock, I had some stuffed shells, and I'm pretty sure Michelle has a video on her famous stuffed shells. So I had that. But keep in mind, though, I came on a full stomach. But when you sit down at an Italian, I don't, I guess Italian woman's table, and she says, "You hungry?" You don't say no. Don't say, that's the number one rule. If anybody's taking notes, if you go to an Italian person's home and they ask you if you're hungry, you say yes, and you make it go down, and you suffer.
That's it.
And so there was also she had cooked some sausage, which I don't know if at the time was that what's his name from
Martin
yeah,
from
Martin was
Dockery Farms. No,
yeah,
those weren't those sausages.
no, okay, well they were really good either way. The stuffed shells were really good. I'm pretty sure she made homemade garlic knots.
Yep.
um, and that was the first thing out of my mouth was, "You're not scaring me," and Michelle just starts cracking up. And I'm looking at her like, did I miss something? And then and that's kind of like our first connection. It was a comedian, John Panette, and
Yep.
I quoted a line from one of his stand-ups, and she knew the entire skit. So I was like, all right, I know I got something cool going on here. So that was my first impression for my first trip to the dock. My first memory from the dock is Michelle feeding me authentic Italian food.
But isn't like most people's memories of the dock centered around food?
Yeah, one of my memories though was you catching your PB there. That's a good
Yeah,
memory.
that's a blast. Yeah. That was an odd night. We caught, you guys brought that sucker that
Yep,
was frozen. And
yep,
we have been using bluegill and not really catching much of anything. And we hacked up that sucker, and I ended up catching a 52 and a half. Josh got a 32. You got a 22, and what, an 18 or a 17, all on
oh,
that same, off of
yep,
one fish, out of one piece of bait, you
yep,
know. And when that was gone, so was the bite. And sucker are hard to get up here. I've only caught one with my bait rod.
yep.
Uh,
Right.
and we don't really have. I don't have much luck with the carp at all. And I know they're closely related, but man, I really wanted that sucker that night. But a few times we've cut up the carp, but I just haven't done anything with it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's,
We were getting bites on carp at the James the other day on Saturday.
Michelle says, but not in New England, Doc. We
And
still love you though. So we had that conversation when we first met that Yankees aren't from New Jersey, but
Mhm.
oh, or not?
when you're from New England, you could Yankees are of course you get the whole New York Yankees thing versus the Red Sox and the whole bit. But
Oh,
yeah,
I just thought if you're north of the Mason-Dixon line, you're a Yankee to them. To
oh, yeah,
Southern.
people in the South, yeah,
Mhm.
but not from somebody who grew up in the inner city of Boston.
Yeah, I was nowhere near that. I was part of New Jersey.
Buck Williams wants to know where in PA.
What part of PA? I lived in the Pocono Mountains. I would say, if anybody knows where the Pocono Raceway was, I was 20 minutes from there. So where I lived at, I was an hour from Scranton, 45 minutes from Wilkes-Barre, 45 minutes from the New Jersey border in the Delaware Water Gap. Ice fishing. I wouldn't mind try ice fishing, but I would want to see some vehicles that were driving out on the ice first before I went out on the ice.
Yeah, I've seen too many pictures of them go through the ice, you know. I don't know. I'd have to, I'm with Lyle. It would take an awful lot to get me out there. You know, and of course, you know, me and once my feet get cold, I'm done. So
Yeah.
I would have to have heated shoes or something.
Mhm.
What line of work are you in, Art?
Right now, I'm an IT specialist.
And how long have you been doing that?
3 years. Well, if you count my schooling, it's 3.5.
All right. But you haven't always done that. What did you do prior to that?
No, my trade and actually what I went to college for is cabinet making and wood technology is what my degree says. So basically furniture and cabinets.
And how long did you work on that?
2000 from 2005 till 2018. So about 13 years.
Wow. And
Yeah,
why did you give that up?
I got a job right out of college. Um, had my own business for a short amount of time.
Mhm.
Small shops, like 5, 6 guys building cabinets for people, and everything from design all the way to finishing and installing.
Cool.
Had my all of it.
Mhm.
Manufacturing side, I would say. So I was in that for about 7 years. 2011, when I moved down here, I went to doing custom one-off pieces and making kitchens fit perfect to working at a cabinet factory that had stock sizes and basically assembly line type of work, which was cool. Cool to see that aspect or that side of woodworking.
How did you get out of that when you moved down here, or?
I got into the manufacturing when I moved down here. It was another thing that drew me down here. Actually, I was working between two. Yeah, it's a nice hat. I like this hat. Shout out to Catfish Clothing. We went up to the James. He took us out for dinner and he hooked us up with some hats. So thanks, Chris from Catfish. Love it. And the food was good. We went to what's it called? Mission Barbecue. Oh my goodness, it was good. Anyway, squirrel.
Did you get the
um,
directions saved in your phone?
what's that?
Get the directions saved in your phone so we can go up there again?
Yeah, I think there's Mission Barbecue closer than Richmond.
Okay.
But yeah, I
I
know.
hadn't heard of it.
Yeah, I have the address.
Looked like a nice place you were all at.
Yeah, it's cool. I like how they serve the food and everything. Just basically everything was on a tray, and if anything was like one of the sides I got was green beans with bacon. That was in a little bowl, but man, I got the sampler of brisket and pulled chicken, and it came with cornbread, and I tried the uh, honey heat sauce. It was really good.
Oh, cool. It's Brooklyn's Honeybees. Hey, all. Hope you're well. Came over from Mike's channel. All on my break on the night shift. Thought I'd drop in. Well, welcome, Brooklyn. Good to see you. Hope you come back. And if anybody has his link, if you're a mod, please feel free to drop that.
So yeah, when I got the job here, I started off in doing. It was semi-custom, so people could pay an upcharge to modify parts of their stock cabinet.
Yeah.
And what stock cabinetry is like, okay, we sell these sizes, kind of like, you go buy a car and they have what comes standard. Well, that's the same with cabinets. This is what we sell standard. If you want to, change anything about it, there's an upcharge and blah, blah, blah. So we worked in that department for a little while, and then I moved up working as a CNC operator, and then from that, I got into process auditing, which was part of quality. Did that for a little while, then I became a training specialist, where I did all the training for the incoming new hires, and then after that, toward the end, when they decided to close our plant, I was I was an area lead / training to be a supervisor, but at that point, the ship was already going down, so I was
Mhm.
kind of keep morale up and get the orders done until they said we were done.
Jody?
Yeah, I've got a question. You're from New Jersey, right?
Uh-huh.
You try out for Jersey Shore, and what would have been your screen name?
uh, no, I would not try out for Jersey Shore. Because when I watched that show, the only reason I did watch it is kind of like it was like train wreck. You can't help but watch. You couldn't turn away. Um, so I could tell you, I had a nickname when I lived up there, and it was Art the Body, kind of like Jesse the Body Ventura. They called me Art the Body. That's what my
Yeah.
that's my Jersey Shore nickname.
Okay. And I got another one. Did you play any sports growing up, or did you have any hobbies?
Yeah,
Like
I
you were
remember
talking about?
foosball. Yeah, I played football.
Really? What'd you play?
I played football down here in junior. No, wait. I joined the team 7th grade. I played 7th, 8th, and 9th. I didn't play when I was up north. I did track. I threw shot put and javelin up
Mhm.
there. But then after I graduated, really weird, my buddies were all bugging me to play on this semi-pro team called the NEPA Miners. And that stood for Northeastern Pennsylvania. And they were based out of Scranton. It was just like NFL rules, but it was for the love of the game. So I had to buy my shoulder pads, buy my helmet. We drove a couple of my friends from around there. We drove up to practice 2 nights a week, and then we had games on Saturdays. But my position was offensive line. I played mainly right tackle, some guard if somebody needed to fill in. But I played that for a season, and then in the off season, um, I forget how that connection happened, but like so when you played football, like growing up, you tried to stay in sports during the off season to kind of stay in shape. You know, you would play basketball or blah blah blah. I never did.
Mhm.
So we found out about this league that was like an arena football team doing 7 versus 7 type of rules, and they were called the Susquehanna Valley Stallions, and they were out of Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. I played on their team for a season, and we did really good. And then I played the following season after that. It was almost like back to back. It was like every day I was driving. 2 or 3 days out of the week, I was driving an hour to go to 2 hours to and from practice, to and from games. We traveled. Uh, Played a team from New England. Tom, we actually drove up there with the miners. We had buses that took us up there. The
Okay.
other we had to drive everywhere ourselves.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I had a crazy memory. A really good friend of mine broke his ankle up there in New England.
Oh,
And the hospital and get pins and everything in it. So the whole team had to sit up there the whole time he was in the emergency room until they released him, and then we went home.
wow.
That's a pretty crazy memory, seeing that. But he was playing offensive line opposite of me. Man, it was probably one of the craziest sounds you've ever heard when you hear somebody's bones breaking in person. But
Yeah.
but I started. So when I got into 7-on-7, I transitioned into playing center and guard also. So I played all 3 positions, but I played on. So the minors, I became a captain my second season with them, and we did okay. We weren't, we didn't get very far. I don't even think we made playoffs. Well, yeah, we did. We made playoffs. We always lost in the first round, but the the team I had the most fun with was also a 7-on-7, but it was kind of when we all started ourselves coming out of the minors and some other people that were on our team from the Stallions, and we were called Back Mountain Mayhem. And Back Mountain was like the name of the town. And
Mhm.
we went undefeated in the season and we won the championship. So
Nice.
it was pretty cool. And there was a couple close games, but pretty much we mopped up on people.
Huh. That's
it,
great.
I mean, the league wanted us out, saying we were ringers, like we're all
Mhm.
professional, but we weren't. We just found out about this league, and we were good, and we put a team together, and we won because we
Yeah.
played well together.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's kind of segue from football back to fishing. The quarterback of the team, his grandfather had a cabin in Canada, and that's how I got into bass fishing, was through him.
Wow.
We used to go up to Bob's Lake, I think it was called, in Canada.
Huh.
And we would stay. I think we would go fishing all week in this cabin. There was electricity and stuff, but the shower was out in another building, and the bathroom you used to go number 2 was in another building for them, right? But we'd wake up, eat breakfast, go fish till lunch, come back, eat lunch, go back out and fish till dark, and then even at night we used to try for catfish because we only, Tom, you're gonna have to close your ears for this one. We only ate bass on the last day.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm good with that.
Okay.
People do it, keep them eat. That's fine. I tried them when I was a kid, and you bring everything home that you catch, and I just didn't really find them to be all that flavorful compared to other fish I had tried.
They're not.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, there's other better tasting fish out there. Bluegill and catfish. I have yet to try crappie, so that'll be on my. I want to get
the crappie, the walleye, and the yellow perch are all pretty.
Yeah, I haven't tried any of them.
Yeah.
Haven't those.
We used to do a trip every year, well, twice a year. I would go up on Memorial Day and Labor Day weekends to the northern corner of Vermont, right by the Canadian border, up to Lake Champlain, and we spent a week in the cabins. And same thing there. I mean, they didn't even have a TV in the cabin because there was no reception up there. You barely get the weather radio on your weather band.
Oh man!
And, but you were up in the middle of nowhere, and it was awesome. We would get up in the morning, eat breakfast real quick, and get out. Would come in for lunch, like you said. Would go back out and stay out until it was dark, and then we'd come in and have dinner and go to bed. And just every day for the week, and we were catching 5-pound smallmouth, on top waters. It was awesome.
Yep, we threw a lot of topwater frogs, and we would catch muskie, well, probably pickerel in that lake.
Yeah.
But yeah, my buddy used to call them the nasty slimy fish because those are some slimy fish.
Oh, yeah, the nickname that we had for them was snot rockets.
Snot rockets, yeah, he did call.
But it was up there in Vermont, in Champlain, where one night it was just about dark. We were just about to quit, and we heard this guy yelling in a boat that was just down from us. And so we went over there, and they had caught a large fish that they thought was a bass, and he went down and he lipped it for the guy that had caught it, and it turned out it was a bowfin. And that thing made hamburger out of this guy's thumb. It was nasty. He had to go to the hospital, and I don't know whatever happened to him. I think they pulled out that next morning and went home, but they were staying in one of the other cabins. But that thing just destroyed him.
That's another fish I want to catch. Maybe not to eat, but a bowfin. I've never caught one of those yet.
All right, I got a question here from Reef Robert. What part of Virginia do you live in?
Southern Virginia, I guess. Do they call us Southeastern Virginia?
They call where we are South Central.
Okay, so yes, pretty much smack dab middle, right on the border of North Carolina. Like I work in North Carolina. It takes me like 25 minutes to get to work, and I'm over the border probably in 15 minutes. So,
just checking to see if we have any other questions. We're moving on to the fishing section of the comments here.
Okay.
Sure, a lot of people here in the chat want to know just what does gizzard shad taste like?
Booty cheeks. I mean, I've never eaten booty cheeks either, but it's disgusting. It's pretty gross. It's
So then that wasn't sushi grade?
No. It was fresh, but I don't know if it's sushi grade. I could describe it as, remember getting a nosebleed as a kid and that gross, like tinny copper taste in your mouth from the blood, like that plus gross.
So whatever made you think that would be a good idea?
Honestly, I didn't think it would happen. I felt pretty certain, and I'm like, I'm not gonna have to eat no shad.
Well, I guess
Mm.
we'll tell them why it came about. Or what?
So,
Why did you have to?
so Tim King, everybody that's been watching all of our channels and has seen King's Catfishing. He runs a guide service on Kerr Lake. He's doing really good on TikTok right now. So if anybody's on TikTok, check out King's Catfishing. But it's Timothy King. We met him fishing one day. We just kind of shooting the breeze, talking. We noticed his cameras on his kayak, and he was kayaking coming in to the boat ramp we were fishing next to, and we just started talking. And I go, "You do YouTube?" I'm like, yeah, we just started. And he's like, "Oh, okay." And we're just talking. And YouTube started doing really good for us, and and when we started going live, he used to see us live. He'd come talk to us or whatever, and then we all became friends with him. And he started like, "Hey, you guys want some bait? I just did a guide trip. I don't have a use for this. I'm just going to throw it away." I'm like, "Yeah, we'll take the bait."
Yeah.
Um, and COVID was first kind of getting going. Work had changed my schedule to where I was working like a rotation from the other IT guy that works there. They didn't want us there in the office at the same time. So I was off some days during the week. And he was saying, "Hey, man, you want to come out and go live on your YouTube channel while I'm fishing?" Well, yeah, sure. And it didn't, it was during the week. So it didn't, he had extended it to all of us, obviously. But it only worked out that I could go those couple of times. The first trip we went out, and I was live, and I forget exactly how it started. I don't know if it was Aaron from Catfish Regulators. I know he was kind of egging it on, but I don't know if it was his idea to chat or Josh.
Aaron? Are you kidding me?
Oh, not
Aaron wouldn't do something like that.
Um, or maybe I can't remember, but I was like, you know what, Tim? If you could put me on my PB on the live, I'll eat a shad. I'll bite the head off a shad or eat a shad, something like that. Um, First trip goes by, we were going to anchor up, but we couldn't. We ended up having to drift. I mean, we caught tons of fish, probably like 13 or 14, like in that hour, drifting because his back anchor was frozen and he couldn't get it out because he has like a winch style back anchor.
Yeah.
So it happened again that following week because we start, while we're live, we're pushing his channel too for him taking us out fishing. Like, you know what, you go subscribe to Tim. Let's get him over 1,000, and we were helping each other out. I'm like, I know from what he's told me, and people know in chat, with gas prices the way they are, and if you have a boat and all that, it's not cheap to just, I'm going to go fish in the boat today. That's one, the time that you're giving to somebody else to take them out of the boat, and then the money part of it, obviously. So I was like, you know what? Why don't we just boost his YouTube channel and help him out too? And I tried giving him money.
Yep.
He didn't take it a couple of times. Those 2 times he took me out. So I was like, all right. He called me again. It was super late one night. Like, hey man, I'm going out tomorrow morning. You want to go? I'm talking like 11:30 at night, and he wants us to be 5:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah. And we get on there. We're streaming. Oh, so this is the part that Aaron said. So is the shad bet still on? I'm like, yeah, sure. And sure enough, we're sitting there in the enclosure, and Tim goes, "Oh man, that's a big fish that just went by the side scan." And I got a tag, the timestamp from when he said that for that fish on that live. So if you go back and watch, you'll see he says that, and not even 20 seconds later, the rod goes down, and then it's like a slow takedown. He's like, that's a big fish. and I'm reeling it, and he goes, "Oh, you eating a shad now, buddy?" And I'm thinking, like, I couldn't even be excited for my PB because
Mhm.
I'm
Right.
eating this gross shad. And he's like,
Yeah,
"What's
you
the
got real quiet.
matter? Like, why are you not even smiling?" I'm like, "I gotta eat a shad."
Yeah, you got real quiet there. I was watching that live as it was going on. You should be happy, and you weren't.
Right. I wasn't even excited. I caught my PB. I'm like, I was more
Mhm.
worried about eating a nasty shad because
Mhm.
I heard people talk about all they eat is algae, and like when we were cutting them on the boat, like
Mhm.
the gut pocket part. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to eat that if I catch my PB gross and green. Does not look like something you want to ingest. It is,
So what was the PB fish?
huh?
How big was that fish?
Oh,
Your
49.
PB.
It was 50 something with the net, I think.
Yeah.
At one point, he's like 54, 52, and then we lifted back up, and it was like 49 something. So
Yeah.
I said with the net because those RS nets, they're probably like 2 pounds or something like that.
Yeah.
222.
Well, that's great. So will you do that again with your next PB, or is that a done deal?
I mean, if somebody took me out on their boat and put me on a PB, I mean, I might be willing to do it again for PB's sake. And
Yeah.
I'm talking about no peanut butter. I'm talking about bird best.
Because I think I remember your comment was well after you had finished that, you said, I think I got an eyeball stuck in my teeth. I
Mhm.
Eyeballs,
almost fell out of my chair when you said that.
he, like, oh, his eyeballs in there. I went back and watched it. I just see people in there. Like Mike Turner said, he said he got an eye stuck in his tooth. Josh is dying like in the chat. Junky's putting up the throw up emojis. Lori's putting up the throw up emojis. It was fun. It was very memorable.
Was the shad better than the bologna?
Was the what?
Is shad better than bologna to you?
No, bologna is awesome. Love bologna. What's my favorite form of bologna? It's probably got to be a bologna burger.
I've
Real,
never had that.
huh?
I've never had that. Never thought of that.
What? You need to fix your life, Jody.
I know. Never thought of a bologna burger.
How do you buy your bologna? Let's talk about some bologna for a second.
Well, just depends
Buy-
on where I get it at. I do buy it already pre-sliced, packaged, but I also buy it by the deli too.
Okay,
Get
do you
it.
buy it with the red paper on it?
Yeah,
Okay, so if you
of
go to the
course.
deli, well, if you bought a log of bologna, you could slice
Mm-hmm.
off your own and make it the thickness of your desired thickness. But if you go to the counter, tell them you want to slice like a bologna burger. They should know that in Tennessee. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and you just fry it in the pan like a burger to
Yeah.
your the doneness that you would like it to be, like
Mm-hmm.
charred, not charred, and then lettuce, tomato, mayonnaise, bacon,
Yeah.
salt, and pepper, toasted on Texas toast is really good.
Okay. I'll try that. Now, how do you like your bologna? You like it? I like mine barely fried, just a little brown on each side. But I know some people eat it like it comes out like a piece of charcoal.
Oh no, I like people like their hot dogs like super black. Nah,
Yeah.
just warm enough to taste good.
Yeah. I like, just a little bit of crisp to it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's our
I'd ask,
Jody
I'd ask
sent me.
Tom, but he's not allowed to eat it.
Tom's not allowed to eat bologna.
Are
Well,
you,
there's a
Tom?
story there, Miss Jody. When Jody came to visit the first time, Michelle tries to make things that people would like and request, and that makes her happy. And Jody said, "Well, I'll just have a bologna sandwich and some chips and a Pepsi. That ain't gonna fly in this house." Michelle said, "Hell no."
Michelle
Ain't bring it.
have bologna in her refrigerator.
Yeah, nope.
You got a hot dog up. I bet you know what? Michelle probably don't even have hot dogs.
We do, but we do Nathan's.
Nathan's natural casing. Yep.
Yep, absolutely. And Hebrew National if they're ever on sale, but they're usually even more expensive than the Nathans.
The Dietz and Watson, you say?
No, the Hebrew National.
Okay, yeah, those are good too.
Yeah, and the Dietz and Watson with the casings, we do them too. Yeah. Jody sent me a video of her making her famous bologna sandwich.
Oh,
I didn't fry it though.
that's some dedication to bologna right there.
Yeah.
Jody, does your bologna have a first name?
It's OSCAR.
Well, if you remember that commercial, the kid eating it's holding a fishing rod, so there is kind of a link there.
There is. There.
All right. Any more bologna questions, Jody?
No, but I've got one right here that was sent to me.
Okay.
It
Go
is,
ahead.
who's the best fisherman out of the one-ton crew?
I'll leave that for the chat to decide.
Okay.
Put it in the chat. Who's the best?
Get some of these comments.
Tom. The best sea fisherman.
No, I ain't nowhere near the best. I just get more opportunity to do it. And I'm not going to pick out of that either. I'm not going to pick. I don't want to make 3 people mad at me, so I ain't picking one.
I'll put it to you like this. So, why I don't chime in so much, I do have questions and stuff going into people's shows where they talk about side scan and down imaging, and sonar and avionics and all that. We fish in the bank when we can, and we, again, I said earlier, we've pretty much figured out where we think fish are during the different times of the year. We know how they pattern.
Yep.
And we go when we can. There's really not the most executive decision that has to be made is where we're going.
Right.
And with our group, and even if it was just 2 of us going, it's like you ask your husband or you ask your wife, husband or wife, for that matter, where you want to go. Where do you want to have for dinner? I don't care. Don't matter to me. Where do you want to go? Matter to me. I just want to go fishing. That's usually what it's being for us. Just wherever we go, and we make the best of it. There's really no science to bank fishing. Yeah, you can make it. Everything's what you make it, but you can make it a science. I can hike 2 miles down this shoreline and get to this, rock bluff, and there's a deep hole right there. Or you can just go fish where everybody else fishes and try your luck, because that's what fishing is, 99% luck.
Yeah, I'd rather be lucky than good, because lucky wins a lot more often. Yep, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that kind of leads into the next question. Talked about the origins of the one-ton fishing club. Somebody else mentioned this, and I saw it, but we were going to get to it. So, how did you all come together as a group?
So me and Josh started hanging out. We met at church. He was just coming back to the church that I had just started going to, and I think what's the common denominator always for us? Food. We were cooking. Our church was having a lunch, it was a lunch after church, and it was literally like my either second or third time going. And they said, "Hey man, do you think you can help us cook some chicken?" Yeah. So we went out to out back of the church, and 2 people had their gigantic grills, and Josh came. I had no idea his background, him being a chef and everything under the sun. Josh has been, been there, done that, got the T-shirt kind of thing.
Yeah.
And we were talking, and we were both training specialists at the time, and it just reminds you of Step Brothers, the movie. Did we just become best friends? Yup. But he would, I loved fishing. So I always, my Sundays typically with my father-in-law and my wife's uncle, and it was just us 2. Sundays were fishing. After church, we'd fish, come back, have Sunday dinner at my mother-in-law's. That's what, for years, it was like that. But then, of course, COVID. And then Josh was always into catfishing. Well, he had been into it with some other guys at church. And we were talking about it. I'm like, yeah, let's try it. So, of course, I show up with my bass fishing stuff to go catfish. He's like, what is that?
Yeah.
Catfished a couple times and, put pictures up on Facebook of people catching fish. And Jared approached us at church like, hey, man, I love going fishing. You guys mind if I come fishing with you guys? Well, yeah, of course. So the three of us were fishing, and I don't think we had talked about doing YouTube yet. But we started fishing together, Jared, Jared, and Josh and myself. And then Kyle started coming to our church, and I noticed. We've spoke in church, whatever, said hello, and of course, Facebook does like suggested friends, like you might want, yes, other friends in common with you. So I'm looking through pictures, and I see he has this decals on the back of his truck, the double circle hooks, and catfish hat, like the Catfish clothing brand. He had a hat on in one of the pictures, and I'm like, I wonder if this guy likes to fish. So I sent him a message. I was like, hey, man, I see you're a big dude, too. We're big guys. We like to go catfishing. You want to come hang out with us? I said, it's pretty much looks like it's meant to be to come out and hang out and catfish with us.
Yeah.
So the four of us started catfishing, and, Tom, you've been around us. Jody, you've been around us a couple times too. We love having fun, and that's what it was. We should film all this stupid stuff and just us being silly. We should make a YouTube channel. Well, it was mainly Jared and Josh. I was not about it. I was like, nah, I guess I'm gonna still catfish or whatever. But I was so like I hated hearing myself talk on the videos, and Josh just filmed like a bass fishing video, and I'm sitting next to him like, I don't want to do this in front of him. If I did it, it was whatever. And, I started liking it actually after that. And it became more. That's pretty much the origins.
Well, I know. I know exactly what you're saying. It's the first time I came to fish with you guys over at Bluestone. And you guys were live. And I was like, hey, say something to the camera. I'm like,
I remember the first thing you did say to the camera. You're like, is DMV in here? You had his face mask on. You're like, what it do, what it be, what it is, YouTube?
Yeah, that's right. Yep, you got it. That was the first time we fished together. Hey, we got a question here from Laura the Explorer. She would like to know, would you rather eat the hot chip or the shad?
You know what? If I had to choose between those two, I would probably eat a shad again. I would try eating a shad again. Because if I know I could definitely chew up the hot chips, swallow it and all that, but if I vomited that back up, that would be painful. And two, if I let it go through natural process, it would be hot the other way too.
So One Ton Fishing Club wasn't always the name of your club, was it?
No, it wasn't. Nope. It was, we started off the channel calling it Fishing and Farts.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, and I wonder why, right?
Yeah. Well, please do tell.
I didn't see that one coming.
Well, we're not shy about our flatulence on camera or on a live stream. So, but yeah, we had a little discussion about it after we had some creepers. And by what I mean by creepers, there would be, I don't know if they're bots or people that were super bored. Well, no, one was definitely a person, for sure. Because he would, like, watch our videos, timestamp the fart, and be like, oh, that was such a squeaker, or blah, blah, blah. Like, okay. Like, I think we did a video where we were asking for suggestions, and the dude commented, more farts! We want more farts! But what really pushed it over the edge was we did a live stream. I think it was the one where Dockery gave me my nickname Bullfrog. Someone took time, unless they wrote some kind of computer program, to scan through the video and do it, but there was 5 different occasions where Josh and myself had farted during this live. And you can go, like, if you put a time, like a number, like a time, it will stamp it, and if you tap it or click on it, it'll take you right to that spot in the live.
Huh.
So they timestamped 5 different times.
Wow.
And left it as a post, and Josh's like, dude, this is weird. I'm like, yeah, this is weird. I mean, it's funny, but, like, I don't want to be, like, you know, somebody's fetish or some weird stuff like that.
Ew.
So we changed the name to One
That
Time.
could make for an unpleasant encounter in Walmart. Hey, there's the guy that farts.
There's the guy that farts when he fishes. Yeah. Hey,
That's great.
do a fart for me, man.
So how long have you all been together?
Man, it's a little over 2 years now. We've been doing YouTube.
Wow.
We got some cool stuff coming up. You had a big announcement today. We're probably going to have a big announcement in the next month or two.
Oh, great.
That we're finally going to come together on and do it.
Jody, did you have a question?
Yep. So, you took a bet one time with me. You want to talk about it and what happened?
Okay, so everybody knows that the service is super specifically spotty at the dock,
Mm-hmm.
and of course I have AT&T, and it's not. So I was streaming from the phone from the One Ton YouTube page, and it was myself, Josh, Kyle was there, but he had left. Kenneth Powell, Takedown Catfishing, and Tom, obviously. I think I said Tom. So yeah, there was we were fishing, and I don't know that I knew who you were, Jody, but I didn't know. No, I did know about the bets because the whole Lee Evans bet, and then Kelly. Did Kelly make a bet, or did he like tag on to Lee's? Like, how did that?
He sold his main card for an Amazon gift card.
Lord have mercy. Okay.
Yep.
So anyway, we're live streaming. Jody pops in and said, "Do you want to make a bet?" I'm like, "Oh, well, let's hear it." Because at first I was like, "No. Let's hear it. Let's hear it." And you're like, if you catch 4 fish in an hour, then we win. I forget what was it, $100? We would win.
Yeah.
So $100 for all 4 of us if we caught 4 fish in an hour, or if we lost, we would have to do a runway show down the dock, like a catwalk. And I was like, you know what? I mean, I know how the bite is there, but I was feeling a little cocky. I was like, man, she ain't gonna come up in our live, and act like we can't fish. Talking about some 4 fish in an hour, 100. I'm like, all right, we're gonna win this $100.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we had enough bites, but not enough commitments not enough hookups to where we almost did it. We almost did do it.
Yeah. I got scared when you brought them extra rods out.
Almost does. It only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
Yeah.
So almost didn't work for this one either.
Right.
So yeah, we turned the little lights on the YouTube app, and we all strutted our stuff down the dock. Kenneth had his walker out there.
That was awesome.
Josh got a little frisky. He got a little frisky. I just did something generic because I was like, I just want to go out there and get it over with. And then Tom brought his bait rag out there, doing his little shimmy, and then his whole and then the bait rag. But it was fun. It really was. It was funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I don't want to take any more bets from Jody.
I'm trying to find the video, so I can put it in the link.
It's on a one-time thing.
Yeah.
Oh, we lost a bet.
Yep.
Yeah, Brian has a question here for you. Do you have your own personal fart fragrance for sale?
Yeah, Brian, I'll bring some to CatCon for you. How's that sound? Sucker!
That'd be funny.
Oh, goodness.
Hey, Brian, it comes in a 72 ounce.
Palmetto had a question.
Who
It's a
did?
question. Palmetto want to know what brand of pizza you be using for the all-you-can-eat contest and why.
Oh, okay. So we have something coming up in a couple of weeks. Kayak Mike and Ryan Bortz are making the trip to Kerr Lake. They had reached out to Josh and was chit-chatting, and I guess Mike wanted to seize the opportunity. Thinks he can out-eat a bunch of fat guys. So he came up with this pizza eating contest. We have an hour to eat as much pizza as we can. So it's definitely, it's definitely the tortoise race for sure. The pace yourself. I think he said in the rules one topping. I'm gonna get just regular crust. I think we stipulated that. So regular crust. I definitely have to say if I'm gonna get a topping, it's either gonna be mushrooms or sausage. It's probably my two favorite.
That sounds fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah. And so another rule is if we get a takedown, we have to somehow figure out how to continuing eating this slice of pizza while we're reeling the catfish in. So we can either choose to not catch the fish and keep eating, or we catch the fish and keep eating.
That shouldn't be a problem for you. When we were up when I was up fishing with Stan during the Iron Cat, Michelle had made some homemade chicken salad and homemade rolls, and we had been fishing, and it was getting dark, and it was late, and I was hungry, so I made sandwiches for us. And just as I was about to take my first bite, he got a takedown, and he was sitting in his chair, and I was standing right in front of the rod. And so I had the rod in my right hand, and I had the sandwich in the left hand, and I just used my little pinky. See if I can get it in here. And I'm like reeling like this, and it was about 5, 6, 7 pounder, but I was not letting go of that sandwich. But pizza you can fold in half. I don't know if you do that in where you're from, but where we are, you always fold your crust so that it's thinner.
It
And
depends
that makes it easier to hold on to.
Depends on how greasy of a pizza, yeah. If it's super greasy, I won't fold it because I don't want it to drip on my shirt and get grease stains like these.
Mm.
Well, just wear that shirt.
That's my biggest pet peeve as a fat guy.
Yeah.
Show up somewhere and you got grease stains on your shirt, like it just makes you even more of a fat guy.
Yeah.
Big dude. Oh, look at the food stains on his shirt. I was.
Sadly, I can relate to that. I have a lot of shirts with a spot on it, kind of like right below my mouth. And I don't know why. I mean, I got a big mouth. But something always seems to drop off.
I don't get any right here because it comes down and bounces off my beard.
All right. So, hey, I got another question. You had a mishap during the Iron Cat catch and cook. Can you tell us what happened with
that? Well, we're fishing at the spot where you caught your flathead, PB, on 5th Street in Clarksville. We picked it, one, because there was kind of some rain coming in. We caught some meter blues there, but we've also caught channels there. So we were thinking, we had sucker for bait. We were thinking, okay, that's going to be the best spot. So the water was kind of down, or it had dropped recently. And we're fishing, and we're getting super nervous. It was like hour 3.5 hours in, 4 hours in maybe, and no bites. So Josh is sitting there. He's like, dude, I'm going to throw a big glob of night crawlers on. And he did. And we finally got this fish. Finally got a fish. It was probably like a 6 or 7 pound channel too. Like a good channel for our lake.
Yeah, that's a nice one, yeah.
like that dude had been staying away from some flatheads and blues because channels they're out the fish out eat them like out compete them
Right.
or the other catfish just eat them because I've caught a blue on a bullhead before, so I know blues do not care what they eat as long as they eat.
Right.
So Josh is bringing it in. I'm going down there to land it. You know us, we don't have a net. Tom's the one who always brings a net. And I'm not talking about like a woman, I'm talking about a landing net.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's a little soft by the edge. I grab the leader and the hook pops on the fish. Like I thought it was hooked good enough I could just grab the 80-pound leader and just lift him up on the bank. Nope, he popped the hook and starts rolling in. So I scramble, reach down real quick, trying to grab him, and I lose my footing. I fall face first into the water, and I kind of slide. And as I'm grabbing the fish, he fins me in my palm. And I grab him and just throw him up on the bank. I'm like, we're not losing this fish. And I'm like, dude, this is the only fish we might get. And I mean, like probably 20 minutes later, we caught another channel on the cut sucker, but we didn't want to take the chance. I didn't want to take the chance of like waiting for another fish because the whole point of it was you catch a fish, you clean it, you cook it,
Right.
and that's how you were judged on the appearance of your dish. I was so nervous. Man, thank God I didn't have my phone. Obviously, we were using it to stream, but my wallet everything got wet, and it's just
Like you said, it was on the live for everybody to see.
and all you hear is Kevin in the background. You hear him laughing. Josh is like, "Woo! Oh, woo!" Because he checked to make sure I was okay. Then he laughed anyway.
Hey, Mike's Fishing Home says, I actually do follow a fishing and exploring channel called Fart.
Oh my God!
There's a follow-up to it. Stands for Fishing and Random Things.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Danny Stone wants to know if you can still find videos from Fishing and Farts.
Oh yeah, they're still on there. They're still on there. Yeah, all our videos.
Be the earliest ones.
Yeah. Our very first video, we actually say this is our first fishing and farts video. All the lives are on there from when we farted. We just deleted the weird comments. I mean, Danny, you got that kind of time to kill. We'd appreciate the watch time to go back and find our farts. I mean, we still fart and stuff. Yeah.
Just scrolling here, I see a few new names. James Albaugh and Bex No Real Loss. Welcome.
What's up, Bexy?
There's Mark, Catfish and Crappie. Freddie's in the house. Whiskers and Stripes. Danimal. All right. Sorry if I've missed anybody. We've been rolling kind of here with the conversation. Don R.
See, Dana Parker's in here.
Oh, Dana. I did. Okay. Haven't seen Dana. Welcome, Dana.
She said, John Parker should have gone to those lengths to save my big fish. Boy, I say, boy, you're never going to live that down.
Hey, Lynn. Lynn's in the house.
Babe!
Lynn, welcome.
Babe!
See, I think we got Mr. Gadget earlier. I know I get behind in the chat. Now I'm going to hear about it.
Yeah.
Oh, there was Dana. Okay.
What's up, Mr. Gadget?
Trophy Seekers Outdoor. Welcome, Daryl. Fat Boy Eric Fishing. Welcome. All right. Been waiting for this one. Jody, did you know that Art does a fantastic impersonation of a well-known YouTube member?
Really?
Yeah.
Who is
Would you like to hear him do that?
Yeah, I want to hear it.
All right.
Money. Ooh, fish. No, nothing?
Do the laugh one more time.
All right, hang on.
There it is.
I did better than that on Anglerholics.
What?
Anglerholics, I had to impersonate Chucky. I did better than you.
Oh, okay.
And there you go, do the finger.
Yeah.
Because the rod's got to touch the finger. Yeah.
Money, 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 money.
Boom, boom, boom.
Let's see. We got a new name, Keith Colstrab in the house. Welcome, Keith. All right. Jody, you got anything?
No.
No.
No, I just been sitting back having fun listening.
Art, are you going to CatCon this year?
Man, I am so undecided. I booked a hotel room today, just knowing that I could cancel it 2 days before. As of right now, yeah. I mean, I really haven't got to talk to my wife too much about it, but it's probably the most. It's the thing I've been excited about the most since last year's CatCon that got canceled. I've been so it's like the one thing I've been looking forward to the whole entire year. I really hope, and I'm pretty sure I remember Steve talking about it, him getting an East Coast one for the East Coast, doing one here somewhere. What's up, Tim?
Mhm.
It would be cool if he could figure out how to do it somewhere on the East Coast. I mean, Charlotte's a pretty big arena.
Yeah.
I don't cost, but I'm trying to think of where else they could do something like that around here.
Well, yeah, like I said, I'm kind of in the same boat as you. You know, it's that's a long drive to make, and weather permitting, and all that. And
That's another thing too. I'll feel a lot more confident when I see the weather report. Like it's not some crazy winter storm moving through there, and like I'm driving because it's almost probably like 9 hours for me to drive. Don't you dare! I need him to go.
she wants to do some demo work here at the house while I'm gone. But yeah, you know, I'm not really in need of a whole lot of gear. I got all the rods, I got all the reels, everything that I need. But I just want to go meet all those people that probably, unless they, you know, that they have another one closer. A lot of those people I'll never get to meet if we don't do it there.
Exactly. Yep. That's from all the trips we've taken. That's the most fun part for me. That is the most enjoyable part for me. Like going up to the James, hanging out with Stan again, and meeting Freddie and Nina, and I got to meet Green Machine. I can, I love collecting hats. I got a Green Machine hat. I got a Freddie's hat. I got stickers. Got this cool Catfish hat from Catfish Clothing. Yeah, I mean it's going to take those 2 days to be able to hang out and talk to every single YouTuber there.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I'll be able to, like, if I go, I don't even know if I'll be able to walk around and see what's in the show. Like, what's for sale.
Yeah.
Like, I'm more interested in just hanging out with all the other YouTubers.
Well, then there's the Golden Whiskers being done live there.
Yep.
Too.
Yeah. Yep. How could I forget that? I mean, come on.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my thing. We got one vehicle here, so if I take off for a couple of days in my car, that leaves Michelle stuck in the middle of nowhere for days. But
Michelle said, "Go, just go."
yeah, she says that. You know, she's done a project here at the house. Like every time I've gone away to somewhere, like she ripped up all the carpet off the stairs going to the upstairs and sanded down all and finished off all the wood stairs and all that. And
Wow.
taken part of the island off that stuck out a little bit too far. She took that off and fixed it. And so she likes to get her hands dirty. She likes doing that kind of stuff, and she likes it when I ain't around to say no. So when I leave, she starts getting her plans together. Who's going to come help her? So I think they're talking about doing the floor. We're getting some of that laminate flooring and going throughout the whole downstairs with it. But I think that's the plan, anyways. But I don't know. If she tells me to go talk about fishing for a couple of days while she does that, I'm not going to argue with her.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. I just I don't even want to like name off a couple because I feel bad leaving off some, but
Oh, I know it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
just want to go meet Murillo.
Yep.
I want to meet Tim
Yep.
Epic Catfish, Tim Scott.
Yep.
It's going to be cool to meet Steve Douglas, and of course all the other YouTubers I've already met. Like Jody, are you going?
To CatCom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll see Jody there. Hooks and Hammocks, Chris and Telly,
Yep.
Kevin. I got to fish with him. Get to see him again.
Mm-hmm.
Haz and Brian. I already met Chad, but I'm pretty sure Chad's going. Just I don't know. I don't want to leave off nobody. I want to meet John and Dana Parker. I'd love to meet them, shake their hand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure there's going to be a whole lot of hugging going on when I meet people. Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to the most. Just meeting people, talking, hanging out, get to know them face to face. See the person that's behind the camera. Like Chris always says he's 6'1", and then you go meet him in person, and I rest my elbow on the top of his head when I'm talking. No, that's what I'm looking forward to the most, and just hearing people's stories. Like it's happened a couple times where people, like Jose. Like I know I feel comfortable saying this from Carolina. Well, I think he changed his name, but it was Carolina Catfish Hunters.
Right.
He saw us from one of our little clips we put together for realistic fishing, and he wrote us and was telling us like you inspired me to start my channel,
Mm-hmm.
as a big guy, and just stories like that, man. That definitely touched us for sure.
Right.
To hear like me being stupid on YouTube inspired someone, so that's a cool.
Yeah, there's but yeah, I'm not going to make a list either because there's just so many people that I want to see.
Yeah.
But it's a shame that I got to go to Kentucky to meet Haz and Brian. As close as they are to us, that we've never got together with them.
Yeah, they're doing their meet and greet in May.
Yeah, yeah, that's on Memorial Weekend.
And we've flirted with the idea of doing a Kerr Lake meet and greet, and we need to come together more on it. I think we will. For sure, definitely, we want to figure out a good time and where and all that. I think we've got some of the details worked out, but that would be cool for us to host one.
Yeah, I know that came up last winter before Josh got hurt, and
Yeah.
it became kind of an issue of where do we have enough bank space, with the water up or down, where we could fit enough for everybody that said they were interested in coming.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to revisit that and probably get with you and Aaron and try to iron out some details.
There you go. Josh said I would hug you all until it was uncomfortable.
Yeah, he does. Speaking of which, you talking about Josh being hurt? That's what his little avatar is. That's from the Whisker Bowl. I was a little sad that Kevin wasn't doing that this year, but I understand, him wanting to go a different direction with his channel. But that was fun. That was really fun, and surprised us because we would have never thought. I mean, a lot of it was subscriber points, but we caught 5 or 6 fish. And went against boat guys that are like, then they know they can get on fish. So like we did,
Well, that was quite the interesting day, if I remember it. Aaron and I had fished at a different spot so that you guys would have all that space to yourselves, and we came over afterwards. And those who don't know, Josh had fallen and hurt his tailbone, and so he was very immobile. So he was seated in the chair, and he had a rod holder stuck at each arm so that he could reel sitting down. And the picture that he posted the memory of the other morning was that picture from that morning, from that afternoon. And where Josh was seated and he go, "Oh, I got a fish." And he's sitting down and reeling it down. And jokingly, I yelled up, "Get up, you lazy blank." And
It was so funny in context, though.
yeah,
We still laugh at that to this day, man. That was great.
yeah. Now, after that, there was another interesting story after we left. Were you still there when the thing with the hunting dog went on?
Yeah. I think you had left. Aaron
Yeah.
was there, myself and Josh, and it's kind of a common thing with these funny stories and Josh being involved, isn't it? We're sitting there fishing, and across this creek, well, the lake there, we hear some dogs. They got it was definitely not deer season in January. I think they were either hunting for rabbits or I don't know. Aaron knows more about this stuff than me. But they had lost the scent or the trail of what they were going after, and they pretty much got stuck because it was kind of like it had water on all three sides of it except for where they came in at the road. And they got stuck over there, and they were just standing on the bank. And Josh starts whistling to the dogs, like calling them. I'm like, dude, don't call them over here. Oh, I'm just whistling. That dog in January. Now, it was a warmer winter last year. But anyway, it's still January. Because I'm special. Gosh. This hunting dog, which I believe, I don't know if it was a beagle or whatever kind of dog, it swam across the whole lake and came running up to it. So I went and got a blanket out of Josh's truck. We wrapped the dog up, got the collar, called the dude. We had tied a rope so she couldn't run away. She was shivering, wrapped up in a blanket. Josh was holding her. I was holding her. Dude finally comes up to get her, and Josh is like, "You don't want this blanket to keep warm?" "Oh, she'll be all right." And I'm talking like this dude was country as country could be. He did not care, I mean, everybody has their opinion about animals and stuff, but animals hold a pretty special place in my heart anyway. And Josh too, and Aaron too. Like, we all were like, man, this poor dog. And dude was just like, "Oh, she'll be all right." And he threw it in the box with the rest of the dogs, and then he went over there trying to find the other, because there was still two other dogs trapped across the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, Josh was like, in his head, he was like, "I'm gonna get up and choke this dude if he put this blanket around this dog."
Yeah.
But we were glad that the dog went back to the owner. At least, wasn't stranded out there anyway.
Yeah. So has Josh given up calling the dogs now, or is he still going to continue to?
No, he's special. Remember, he'll still do it. You see a big bald eagle flying over the water, and Josh like calling the eagle over. Like, you think he would have learned his lesson with that creepy owl over there on the river by our house?
Yeah, we were at Oakleaf.
Calling an owl, and the next thing you know, that thing's creeping, looking right at him.
We were at Oakleaf a couple of weeks back. I think it was just before the winter blues, and there was an eagle circling. We had some bait out because it was cold. We had it cut up on a board, and there was an eagle circling above us, looking, and we thought he was going to come down and take the bait right off the board. He circled for quite a while before it finally left.
Wow, that's great.
We thought he was coming in, coming in for landing.
I was surprised about how many bald eagles around here. They're beautiful, man.
Yeah. Well, one more thing, then I got something I would like to show you all. But do you have any other plans? I was going to ask you about the pizza contest since I saw that tonight for the first time. But did you have any other plans for the channel for this year?
Yeah, we're talking about doing I got us all as a Christmas gift, the Whisker Seeker Whisker Whips, like the ice fishing rods. We're going to do a live challenge with that. we haven't ironed the details out on that yet. As far as anything else, like we were talking about the meet and greet, but just trying to get past. I don't know if you would call it like writer's block, but I've got videos to make. I want to get past that hump and get back into that groove of making videos and start having fun with the channel again. Had a lot of stuff come up in my personal life that kind of not prohibited, but like kind of pumped the brakes for me a little bit with being active with the channel as much. And big props to Josh and Kyle and Jared for stepping up and doing what they could to keep it rolling and keep the ship afloat. Like I was keeping the ship afloat, but you guys know what I mean. Picking up my slack.
Mr. John Parker in the house. Welcome, John.
I say, is that John Parker? Boy, can't fish worth a lick.
Well, Josh says he's the next Dr. Doolittle.
Mhm.
I don't know about doctor.
Is that Doolittle or do nothing?
I think we're more. Oh, that's cool. I think we'll see some more Josh like camping videos. I think Kyle's talking about doing some with him. Jared too, possibly. I might try it in the, when it's warmer. Definitely not going to do it now. It's too super.
No.
I'm a little bit of a prima donna when it comes to sleeping and using I sleep with a sleep apnea machine, and my blood pressure gets jacked up if I don't sleep with it, and I'm just a miserable person to be around without it. So could you imagine that? I'm just so miserable now. This.
I don't go anywhere without my CPAP. That's why the Daryl's meet and greet and Big Mike, in Tennessee, and so if I were to go there and sleep in a tent, tents on 3 or 4 rows down from me would not be sleeping because of my snoring. If I did not. Yeah. Yeah, it's bad, and I know it, and sometimes it even wakes me up. It's so bad. Mm-hmm. So if I can't use my machine, ain't nobody gonna be sleeping near me. So that's kind of like the biggest obstacle in deciding if I want to get out there. So if I can't stay with everybody, and if I have to leave to go to a motel room, I guess that's okay. But then that kind of takes away from what you're there for.
The whole camp. Yeah.
Yeah. So
there's ways around it, I'm sure.
Yeah, we'll see.
Hey, get a battery pack that'll have enough juice to power that thing throughout the night.
Yeah, get a generator.
You could.
So Epic said before the Clean Water Act, we saw no bald eagles or hawks or falcons. Now they're everywhere due to the ban on DDT. Yep, absolutely. They are coming back in full force.
I see hawks all the time.
We see them right across in the dock. Sorry, Art, go ahead.
No, I was just saying pretty much what you're saying. Seeing hawks and stuff a lot now too. Sitting on power lines over. I see them more over fields.
Yeah. So we had an eagle that right across from the dock, like straight across. There's a tree over there that he stays up in, and I don't know why I've always ever seen them in pairs, but this one is always by himself. But Danny says he had an eagle steal a whole skipjack when he went to the truck to get some sinkers. Said he wouldn't have cared, but it was the only one he had.
The only skipjack he had.
You see Kevin's comment? He said, "Just put your tent next to mine, and we can saw the forest down together."
There you go.
I think I saw Ricky in there too. He's Whisker and Stripes or Whisker Dreams. I think he was saying that you could some inverters too. So like if you brought your you could steal one of your deep cycle batteries off of your boat, charge that up, and I bet you that would run your CPAP all night with an inverter. Mm-hmm. I bet you.
Possibly, yeah.
I'll find out when I camp with these guys when it's warmer weather.
Yeah.
I'll try it at least once, just one time.
All right. Well, does anybody have any questions for Art?
Jody, I have a question for you.
Okay.
When you're bringing your pontoon to Kerr Lake?
I don't know. I was just talking to somebody earlier about a trip around that area. So, the reason I don't travel much with it is because I'm by myself, and if I have a flat, I can't change it.
A flat? You can't change it by yourself, you mean?
No,
Yeah,
I can't break it loose with them air wrenches. They're too tight.
So something I haven't done yet because I've been
Mhm.
slacking, but AAA is a good investment. They come
Yeah.
out for you.
Yep.
Yeah.
For I think $100 a year or something like that.
It's
Yeah.
worth
It's expensive, but $100, but I think is what we paid for it for the whole year for all of our vehicles.
Yeah.
But the first time you need it, it pays for itself.
Mm-hmm.
because a tow truck, out of their minimum hookups is $100 just
Mm-hmm.
to your car. No matter that's before they start charging you to take you somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah. The first time I took it out, they had new tires on it, but they didn't put the right tires on it. So I had a blowout on the interstate.
Ooh,
And that's when COVID first hit. So everything was closing early, like 7:00.
yeah.
And
Tires
I
is
got stuck over there.
so sick.
So I've been kind of scared to take it anywhere because it's single axle. But I got someone who's going to fish with me now, and he said he would travel with me some, so I wouldn't be alone driving up there. So maybe take the pontoon up there.
Okay, so Gadget's got a good point. Towboat US and trailer package. AAA won't touch anything on a boat. See how much I don't know about boats. That's good to know.
Mr. Gadget also said, if you were a chainsaw when you sleep, what kind of chainsaw would that be? I'd be a Poulan.
Pool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not one of them cheap Black & Decker ones. That quits working. Yeah. I don't know how many of those Black & Decker type stuff with batteries and battery operated stuff that we've had that didn't really all work all that well after a short amount of time. So I don't see any more questions. Kevin said steel. That's another good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Husqvarna. Well, no, Husqvarna. Do they make chainsaws? I think they're more lawnmowers than leaf blowers.
All right. Well, some of you may have seen a short little video that I dropped just before this came on. I have something I'd like to show. It was kind of a debut of this, and I'm going to squish me to the big screen for a second. The new logo.
That's nice.
Trying to get the colors there.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's good. I think that can be seen. There's
That is awesome.
LG Bass holding a blue cat and a 365 hat. And the rods, you can't see it in the lighting, but they're actually orange Uncle Lou's rods. And there's the dock. And Michelle, as she so often does, went behind my back and reached out to Bobcat Outdoors. And she had this idea, and he designed it for her in 24 hours. And she surprised me with this, and that was what the little video was. But it just perfect to me. It's perfect. So, Michelle, hopefully I haven't seen the chat, but she's going to put the address in my email, or if you are on Facebook, I'm on the Facebook Messenger thing there. Feel free to let me know if you're interested. I've got some ready to go. I sent a batch out already today to some of the people that had sent me stickers. when I didn't have any. So that was always my goal. I've kept everybody's address that sent me something. So if you sent me something already, it's on the way. But yeah, anybody interested that wants stickers, I have them now. Have a small supply left. I kind of underthought this. I was figuring, well, if I have 100 stickers, that's 100 to give away. I can give them to 100 people. And Michelle said, well, you're going to send 2 to everybody, aren't you? So suddenly I only have 50. So I'm going to, and I want to make sure I have some if we do get the CatCon. So when these run out, I'm putting in another order with Bobcat, and we'll get some. It like I said, it took I think 3 days over the weekend, and they were here. So he does great work, and these are the laminate ones, so they're for outside use. They're awesome. Can't wait to get them out to everybody. I mailed off 25 sets of them today, so. There's that there. So if you're interested, let me know. Reach out to me.
So you have to send people to, because they're going to put one on their sticker board,
Right.
either on their boat or their vehicle.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, so we'll get them out to you. Please reach out if you want them. I'll have them until they run out, until I get a new order. But looks like I'm definitely going to need to be ordering some before CatCon.
Yep.
What was that? LG Real Time wants one for sure. Dana, yours are in the mail already. Yep, Mike, now you understand the Facebook message. Yep, yours are in the mail too. Yep, Skull Rush, get with me, buddy. I'll go back through and see who's here. But yeah, reach out to me in Messenger or my Yahoo email address, and we'll take care of everybody as long as we have them to give out.
Do you have a funny email address like Freddie does?
Well, I'm not Pooh Bear, if that's what you mean now. But I am Bass Patch at yahoo.com.
Well, that's that's pretty run of the mill. That's cool. That's cool. It's not Pooh Bear. Like
No.
I love giving him grief over it. It's funny.
I did see somebody when I was at my physical therapy appointment. One of the cars when I came out in the parking lot had something to do with Pooh Bear. It didn't say I am Pooh Bear, but it said something about Pooh Bear on it. Like, I almost thought, I'm going to take a picture and send it to Freddie, but like, yeah, if somebody comes out, sees me doing this, I think I'm trying to steal their car or something. So I better just go.
Let's see. Whiskers and Stripes, he sent like 4. Oh, stickers? Yay! I'm going to get some stickers in the mail.
Cool.
And then James Opera, I'm going to tell him howdy. Hope I said his name right. And then somebody else said hi to me. Can't remember. Skull Rush, howdy do.
Yep.
Is there somebody General So for real?
What's that? You broke up.
Josh was saying howdy General So. I thought somebody's name was General So, unless Josh is talking to his food again.
Well, he does. He's in a love relationship with his food.
That's a question too. So I know you guys aren't going to know this answer, but Kevin, you're in here. And you're CatCon Kev. When you went out to what was the other one was in where? Not Missouri. Kansas City. That's Missouri. But anyway, I want to know is, so like when we go to CatCon, are there food vendors? Like, can you get food inside there?
Mm-hmm.
Jody, have you ever been to a CatCon before?
I went to Catapalooza. I met Kevin there. I ain't been to CatCon.
Yeah, I know CatCon's been around for a while. I'll wait a couple seconds to see what he says. That's what I'm curious about. Like, is there going to be food? Like, I know there's having like a catfish cook-off thing.
Ooh. I do like catfish.
Well, there's a possibility I might be able to talk It's All Mine into making some couple of batches of ooey gooey bars.
Ooh wee. Yeah.
Yeah, they're a fan favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Should I make my CFF wait to get my generic sticker as long as it took to get my Jody shirt? Just kidding. Kevin said, bring your wallet. So no outside food vendors? Can we bring food in with us? Is there a microwave? Is everyone allowed to try the catfish from the catfish cook-off?
You know, I used to have a Jody shirt, a pontoon Jody shirt.
Yeah.
And then she dove in the lake here and got all wet. And we threw all of her wet clothes in the dryer, in the washing machine in the dryer, so she could have them clean to take with her. And Michelle put my pontoon Jody shirt in there too because she was doing darks. And we didn't realize it until I couldn't find it anymore. And I asked Jody, do you by chance have an extra shirt? Yep, she got it. As a matter of fact, I'm wearing it right now, so I don't think I'm ever going to get it back.
Oh, man. I want a Jody shirt.
Yeah. I mean, it's our own fault for putting it in with her clothes, but she's wearing it out. I ain't going to see it again.
I had done laundry. I needed it.
Man, I remember that well, it was during the day. No, it was at nighttime when you caught that 52.5. We fished the whole rest of the night, got soaking wet, and we were driving, and you called us and said Michelle made breakfast sandwiches.
Mm-hmm.
So we hit a quick Yui.
Yep.
Get out of the house, soaking wet clothes.
Yep.
And just like she did, Jody jumping in, she took our clothes and put it in the washer and dryer for us. And I had to wear a towel around Tom's house. Just my shirt.
Yeah.
Just my shirt.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes.
So he wanted Michelle's pink bathrobe, but it wouldn't fit.
Yeah, I couldn't tie it.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Chris? Mighty River Catfish is in here.
Hey, welcome, Chris.
Get to meet him at CatCon, too. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good idea.
Everybody saying hello.
DoorDash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, that's what, unfortunately, I didn't make it up to Richmond this weekend. Michelle had something come up and she needed the car, but, we were talking about should she make breakfast sandwiches, and for the 90-mile ride, they, all wrapped up like that, they would have been nasty by the time they got there.
I would have begged to differ. I would be the judge of that.
Anytime you want one, you just tell us you're coming, Art. You know that.
I know. I know. I know.
Now, Chris, he's going to be at CatCon, right? Chris Flores?
Yep.
Yep.
It'd be cool in person.
Yeah.
The awesome, genuine person he is, like you see on YouTube. I believe that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much everybody, though.
Mm-hmm.
I think who they are on camera or on their YouTube is who they'll be in real life.
So far, everybody I've met's been that way.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. With tons of rods. Woohoo!
Is Mark coming from Catfish and Crappie?
I don't know. You have to ask him. One day he thinks he is, one day he ain't.
Come on.
Michelle asked me to try to show off my shirt. Let's see if I can do it.
Uh-oh, another catwalk.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Stand up and turn around. I think if you stand up and turn around.
I got to move the table to do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now, Bobcat did the shirt too, didn't he? He does stickers and shirts.
Yep. I can try to show you the back. Hold on a second.
Oh,
we got a fish back here. I got to turn all the way around and back in.
Beep, beep, beep.
Can you see it?
That's perfect. Perfect right there.
Yes, that looks
That's
great.
cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So is the bass just holding the catfish, or has he got it in a headlock?
Yeah, it looks like he's holding it by the fins.
I like that. That is a really cool idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was really shocked. Bob did. Michelle had a great idea, and Bob did a wonderful job on it. So hopefully, I'm thinking maybe me and my coffee mug obsession. So maybe this might make it to a coffee mug, but it's 4 inches. So
That's a big sticker.
yeah, well, I found out. Michelle said, just get the standard security envelopes for them, and the sticker itself is 4 inches, but there's paper on all around it, so it wouldn't fit in after I bought 2 boxes of envelopes. They were the wrong size, so had to go back and get some bigger envelopes. So, but we got them going. Well, thank you, James.
Hey, highlight Chris's comment. That's cool. That's cool. I'm gonna wear my Muddy River catfishing hoodie.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
That is cool.
Excellent.
Definitely one of my purchases is going to be a hat. I want one of his hats for sure. If I get to come. Always wanted a Muddy River catfishing hat. I like the cat one, where it looks like caterpillar. That's probably
Yeah.
the one with the little airbrushed hook going down the brim. I always thought that was really cool and original.
Mm-hmm.
So Mark said if things change, he'll go. Right now, he needs to stay close to home.
Okay, that's understandable, Mark. I'll meet you one of these years.
That's it.
Well, I think Mark's going to Patriot James, right? Possibly. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
I'm not sure.
And I'm
I
a
think
big.
he said he wants to.
I don't think I'm going to that. I don't know.
Well, maybe it'll work out.
I
Get
do. That's Jody.
what's this? Josh says, Art, I might have to give you some money to get me a hat too.
All right.
Alicia has the Muddy River sticker so far. That's all she has.
I got a bunch of those stickers from when we.
Buck. What are we gonna do? That's you know what? She did design the stickers, but I still had to pay for them.
That was her money from her bank account, Tom.
Well, yeah, they're her stickers, so
Yep.
it's all mine.
For
By
sure.
the way, did you all see that? She put out a little video a couple days back about the explanation of "It's All Mine." That was great. So, well, if anybody doesn't have anything else, I guess we'll let Art get some sleep. It's almost midnight. We've been on here for almost 2 hours. Still got 39 people hanging out, though.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Thank you to everybody that came in and listened about my boring life.
Yeah. I said, Whiskers and Stripes says, doesn't Catfish do the same thing? May have to change clothes between booths. Yeah, that's great.
I don't know. Is he talking about like wearing catfish apparel and get a discount? I don't know.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'd assume so. Chris is a good dude too. Both Chris's.
Yeah.
Chris with a K and Chris with a C.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got a cool story about Chris Flores before we end it, since we still got quite a few people in here. So if anybody's seen any of our videos, I'm sure you've seen us in our Muddy River hoodies. The one, first off, it was when Chris was coming out with his medium rod, his 7-foot medium action catfish rod. He sent us one to try out and kind of do a review, and we're still working. I have a bunch of clips, Chris. We're trying to catch one on that rod with Kyle catching one, so we can all give our honest opinion about it. So the video's still coming. We still have that on the back burner. But every year I like to get the guys. This is going on. This would be the third year of us hanging out. Anyway, like this year I got the fishing rods. Last year I wanted to get Muddy River catfishing hoodies because I like his logo and I like to support him because he supports us.
Yeah.
And of course, all the big guys out there, you can't just walk into a regular store and get our sizes. I can sometimes, depending on the cut of the shirt or the brand. So I reached out to Chris and I said, "Hey man, if we sent you, like, if we purchased hoodies, what would you charge us for screen printing, your logo on the hoodies for us?" And he goes, "Well, what size are you looking for?" And I told him the two sizes that would be, kind of out of left field and hard to get for him. And, he's like, "Okay, well, let me see what I can do." I'm like, all right. Hadn't heard back from him. A couple months go by. I hadn't forgot about it, but too, I'm not one to like pester anybody. He reached back out. He's like, "Hey man, still working on the shirts. Haven't forgot about you. I'm gonna contact my shirt guy soon." And then that was that for a little bit longer. And then he reaches back out. He's like, "Hey man, look, my shirt guy completely screwed up. He ordered one shirt, the wrong size, but I'm gonna print it and send it to you guys." So he sent us a shirt for free. And then some more time goes by, and Josh texts us randomly one day. He said, "Guys, I have two Muddy River hoodies here. One is 7X and one's a 6X. One, Kyle and Josh's sizes." Sorry, guys, for saying it out there in public, but we ain't got no shame in our game with that. We're big. We don't care. We're big and beautiful. So I'm like, "Oh man, cool." So I ordered my hoodie, and then their hoodies came, and we reached back out to Chris like, "Hey man, thanks for the hoodies. What do we owe?" He goes, "Oh, don't worry about it. It was, you guys waited so long. It's on me. Don't worry about it." He didn't we were trying to pay for shipping or something. So he's like, "No, don't worry about it." So then I ordered Jared's hoodie, and that's how we ended up, all four of us, with hoodies. And then Tom, I think, yeah, it's when we put that order in with Tackle Bandit. We wanted to get some rods to show some support to him. We ordered some blue cap. He ordered a flathead rod. Man, Chris really went out for us. I mean, we just hit 1,000 like this past year, right? So that was last year when he did that. A little channel like us that just go out there, fish from the bank. Like we were nobody in YouTube. Like, yeah, people knew who we were and it was fun and all that, but for him to go out of his way like that to make some shirts, I mean, it was really touching. Like it still means a lot to us, and it's something we'll never forget, for sure. As a group of doing something like that, just like a guy in his position, right? He's super busy all the time. He's got his own business. Aside from that, he's got his rod. He's got his YouTube channel, his line of rods, and all that stuff. So for him to take the time that he did to do that for us, it was amazing. I mean, there's no other way to say it. Just
Right.
like super appreciative, man. It's just like it blew me away.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody cared that much to do that for us.
Yeah, I had when I ordered my first Blue Cat rods, one night I was sitting in front of my computer watching YouTube, and the phone rang in the other room, and Michelle said, "Do you know a Chris Flores?" I'm like, "Yeah, answer it, And so Chris had called to make sure that the address was right and everything before he sent them out to me, and we talked for 20 minutes, and I was like shell shocked that he called, and it was great to talk to him, and he cares about his business. The rods are just super. I love him, and he's a heck of a nice guy. So yeah, I would like to shake his hand at CatCon if we get there.
If I get there, Chris Flores, I got a hug with your name on it from all the one-tonners. So I hope you're ready.
Well, all right. Any last thoughts, Art?
No, man, I appreciate it. Thanks for letting me come up here. It's been a cool experience. Yeah, I've been not been able to do the YouTube thing for a while. I mean, I'm in chats and stuff if I got
Oh,
work, but like getting my face back on the screen and getting back out in the community, and like for a second there, I thought people may have forgotten who we were.
no.
But yeah, we're gonna change that. I'm gonna do the best I can for sure. I just need to
Well,
gets to editing.
now the water's going to start to warm. The bite should start to pick up here if we get a couple more of these 55, 60-degree days in a row.
Yeah, did you also see that the lake is up? It is at now. I say that, but yep, it's at 298. That's the highest it's been all winter.
Oh, yeah, that is high for that.
Yeah, it's
Might
been
have to rethink some of those spots.
yeah, it's been the lowest I've seen is like 294 this winter, man. So it's up 4. I can't do math right now. 4 feet. Now, even though they measure it down at the dam, I still think it'll reflect back up because I see one of the rivers I go over every day is the Dan River, and that's up too. So I imagine if it's been up like that for a few days, the lake's got to be up down, close to
Yeah.
where it's been.
Well, I sure wish they'd let some of that water into Gaston. So we've been staying at a low stage, and the bite is terrible when the water's low here.
I wonder if they're expecting the winter to be over early this year, and they're just keeping the water in for the spawn. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what because it's a power company. They really don't think anything about fishing.
Right, right. Yeah, well, the Army Corps, yeah, they pretty much control that, and they don't really care about the fishing at all, other than the spawn. But they'll let it go up to around 300 and a half, 301 for the spawn, and they'll try to keep it there to allow the fish to do their business. But they don't really push the issue of ours. They only run water through here when they're generating the electricity and all that. If I don't know, those of you who don't know, our water is the water supply for Virginia Beach, which is 2 hours away. So going down the Roanoke River. So, but yeah, it's tough to catch bluegills when the water's shallow, and the bite just never seems to be on. But it'll turn around. It's coming. I think if Dana or John are still in here, the other night, I don't know if you saw it, but I put out a video with my coffee mug collection, of which yours is in. And on each mug, I left a comment. And I think you will see some humor in that if you haven't seen it yet. Go check it out. It's the first thing I thought of when I thought of you, Dana and John. So I hope they think it's cute. So, Jody, you got anything?
Nope. Not a thing. Had a good time. Learned a lot about them.
Cool.
I was glad we made the show gas free
Yeah, yeah.
that we know of.
That you know of. Yeah, so could be releasing some demons when I get up. You never know. No, I'm just playing.
As long as we hit that end button first, you're on. Nobody. It's a timestamp. It's 2 hours, 3 minutes, 57 seconds.
Yeah, Creeper, if you're watching.
Hey, one other thing. I'd like to say a shout out, hello to Lisa Elliott. She's traveling across the country as we speak.
Wow.
En route to North Carolina. And
Woohoo!
I'm wishing her safe travels and looking forward to getting to meet her when she gets here.
Yeah, I'm looking
About time.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, all right, everybody. Then I guess we'll call it a night. We appreciate you coming in, Art. We appreciate everybody in the chat. There's still 36 people here. And we'll get with you on CatCon, obviously, and we'll see what's going to go on with that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we'll talk to everybody next week around 10 o'clock.
All
I'm
right.
just trying to check the messages one last time.
Man, this is a 2-hour show. I love it.
2:05. Yep. All right, there's no new questions, so why don't we let you go get some sleep? Why don't you do your signature shout out that the picture came from on your thumbnail?
One times live.
There you go. All right, everybody, have a great week, and we'll see you next week. Appreciate you coming in.
See ya.
Art, don't
Bye.
go in.